Welcome back to the terminal. Let's open Module 9, Lesson 2, and talk about how networks actually take shape. In this session, we'll walk through topologies and the edge, the patterns enterprises use to stitch sites together, the WAN options that carry that traffic, and how it all extends out to the internet and the cloud. Think of it as one continuous path, site to cloud, and by the end, you'll see why every design choice comes down to balancing cost, redundancy, and complexity. So let's start with the physical shapes, the actual wiring patterns between devices. A star puts everything on a central node, which is simple and dominates the LAN world. A full mesh wires every node to every other node, maximum redundancy, but the cost climbs fast. Partial mesh is the pragmatic middle ground, connecting just the key sites. And hub and spoke, where branches all home back to a central hub, is the classic WAN shape. The pattern to remember: more links buy you redundancy, but you pay for it in cost and complexity. Now that we've got the shapes, let's look at what actually runs between those sites. Leased lines and MPLS give you private, reliable links the premium option carriers sell for predictable performance. Internet VPN is the budget play, encrypted tunnels riding over the public internet. Broadband or fiber delivers high-speed access at each location, and cellular, 4G or 5G, covers backup links and hard-to-reach remote sites. In practice, you'll rarely see just one. A common design is MPLS as the primary path with an internet VPN standing by as backup. Once those WAN links are chosen, they all converge at one critical spot, the internet edge. This is where your LAN meets the outside world, and it's where a lot of what you've learned starts working together. Traffic leaves the LAN, hits the firewall for filtering, passes through the edge router, where NAT translates private addresses into public ones, and then heads out to the ISP. And if you're hosting public-facing services, like a web or mail server, those live in a DMZ, isolated from the internal network so a compromise out front doesn't reach inside. The edge is your front door. It has to be both open for business and well defended. Now, once traffic gets past that edge, the question becomes, where do those resources actually live? Traditionally, you'd run everything on premises, your own servers, your own data center, full control over the hardware, but also high upfront capital and the burden of maintaining it yourself. Cloud flips that model. You rent capacity from a provider, scale up or down on demand, and shift from CapEx to OpEx while someone else handles the racks. In practice, most enterprises land somewhere in between, running a hybrid mix. And we'll dig into how that edge stretches into the cloud in the next lesson. And that's where we'll pick it up next time. Lesson 3 takes us into virtualization, where we'll unpack VMs, containers, and VRF, and see how the same physical box can carry multiple isolated networks. If this lesson clicked for you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so the next one lands in your feed. The full CCNA course is free on YouTube, and you'll find everything organized over at dargslan.com. See you in the next lesson.